Why is it when women succeed, they become targets? Whether it's Chappell Roan's unapologetic artistry, Billie Eilish's creative evolution, or Taylor Swift's billion-dollar career, one big thing never changes: the backlash, the hate, the double standards. So let's talk about it. Why do people really hate successful women? The more successful a woman becomes, the more backlash she seems to get. Not for doing something wrong, but just for existing at the top. Let's start with Chappell Roan, a rising star who's been under fire for simply asking to be treated like a human being. Chappell's been hated on for many things, including setting boundaries, being openly queer, yelling at a photographer, her political stance, and pushing someone out of the way. Chappell posted a TikTok on August 19th, 2024, speaking about her boundaries with fan interactions and making many great points.
I need you to answer questions. Just answer my questions for a second. If you saw a random woman on the street, would you yell at her from the car window? Would you harass her in public? Would you go up to a random lady and say, "Can I get a photo with you?" And she's like, "No, what the fuck?" And then you get mad at this random lady? Would you be offended if she says no to your time because she has her own time? Would you stalk her family? Would you follow her around? Would you try to dissect her life and bully her online? This is a lady you don't know. And she doesn't know you at all. Would you assume that she's a good person? Assume she's a bad person? Would you assume everything you read about her online is true? I'm a random bitch. You're a random bitch. Just think about that for a second.
In the next TikTok she posted, she talked about how stalking someone is not okay, even if they are famous, and it should not be excused, because it's part of the job.
I don't care that abuse and harassment, stalking, whatever, is a normal thing to do to people who are famous or a little famous, whatever. I don't care that it's normal. I don't care that this crazy type of behavior comes along with the job, the career field I've chosen. That does not make it okay. That doesn't make it normal. It doesn't mean I want it. It doesn't mean that I like it. I don't want whatever the fuck you think you're supposed to be entitled to whenever you see a celebrity. I don't fuck if you think it's selfish of me to say no for a photo or for your time or for a hug. That's not normal. That's weird. It's weird how people think that you know a person just because you see them online and you listen to the art they make. That's fucking weird. I'm allowed to say no to creepy behavior. Okay?
Her fans and others did not like that. They said she was rude, ungrateful, and selfish for wanting privacy and alone time, which is absolutely wrong. She does not owe you anything. As she said, would you go up to a random lady and ask her for a photo, and once she says no, continue to harass her? I hope your answer is no. She has stated her boundaries, and they should be respected, because it is her right, even though she is famous. But let's take a step back and ask ourselves, why is setting boundaries seen as aggression when women do it? The truth is, society still expects women to be polite, agreeable, and grateful all the time, no matter how famous they are, no matter how much pressure they're under, and when they don't fit into that mold, the backlash is swift and brutal. Chappell isn't asking for special treatment. She's asking for basic human decency, the same courtesy anyone would expect in public. But because she's a woman, and especially a queer woman in the spotlight, with any expression of discomfort or assertiveness gets twisted into a headline: diva behavior, rude, or overreacting. At first, this video may make it look like Chappell's in the wrong, but there is an explanation. At the 2024 VMA's red carpet, Chappell was getting ready to get pictures taken when a photographer told her to
shut the fuck so I can get my shot.
And Chappell did not take that lightly. She yelled back at them, telling them to shut the fuck up, which she had every right to do. What the photographer did was very disrespectful and should not be normalized. Again, she owes you nothing. Around 2 months later, at the purple carpet premiere for Olivia Rodrigo's Guts World Tour movie, Chappell saw the same photographer that disrespected her at the VMAs. She approached them asking for an apology and calling them out on their unacceptable behavior, and people's reactions again were all over the place. Some saying, "Yes, queen, stand on business," but most saying that she caused a scene and "this isn't about you." Let's think. If someone was disrespectful to you, would you like an apology? I sure know I would. In this video, it looks like Chapel pushed a girl out of the way. But that is not the case. Let's look at another angle of the situation. As you can see, Chapel did not push her. She didn't even touch her other than a pat on the side to say sorry because she didn't want to run into her. Billie Eilish.
As you guys know, I'm Irish, so it's cool. I am not from here, I'll be duh, but it's really cool to come somewhere and like everybody looks exactly like you.
Billie has been getting a lot of hate for what she said in that clip, with people saying things like, she's racist. But let's be real. Was it the best wording? Maybe not. Was it malicious? No. She was acknowledging her Irish heritage and making a self-deprecating joke about being pale. We have real racism in the world, and this isn't it. But again, when you're a woman, at the top, your every word, breath, and facial expressions become a target. Billie's entire career has been shaped by her refusal to fit into some industry box. She's changed her sound, her style, her image, and every time she evolves, people hate her for it. First she was too weird, then too sexy, now too problematic. In 2020, Billie attended the 62nd Grammys, where she was nominated for 6 awards, going up against artists like Ariana Grande, Lana Del Rey, Post Malone, Lady Gaga, Beyoncé, and Taylor Swift, who we will discuss later in the video. Billie was nominated for Best New Artist, Album of the Year, and Best Pop Vocal Album for When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go?, Record of the Year, Song of the Year, and Best Pop Solo Performance for Bad Guy. Billie won 5 out of the 6 awards she was nominated for, losing Best Pop Solo Performance by Truth Hurts by Lizzo. Billie also broke 2 records that night. She became the youngest person to take home all of the Big 4 awards and the youngest to win Album of the Year since Taylor Swift, all at just 18 years old. After the awards, Billie received a ton of hate because people didn't think she deserved to win the awards because it was her first time at the Grammys and because they thought so-and-so should have won instead. Billie also received a lot of backlash for this clip. People were calling her ungrateful, but she was just scared of the backlash she would get for winning all of these awards. And in her acceptance speech, she even said, "Can I just say that I think Ariana deserves this? Thank You Next got me through some
Can I just say that I think Ariana deserves this? Thank You Next got me through some shit, and I think it deserves, like, more than anything in the world. I love you so much."
Arguably the biggest pop star in the world right now, and somehow one of the most hated. How does that happen? Taylor has done what very few artists, male or female, have ever done. She's reinvented herself again and again, maintained creative control of her music, built a billion-dollar brand, and re-recorded her entire discography to reclaim her masters. That's power, that's strategy, that's business. And yet, people call her calculated, as if being smart and strategic is something to be ashamed of when you're a woman. When male artists negotiate business deals, they're called geniuses. When Taylor does it, she's manipulative, greedy, a snake. Let's be honest, how many times have you heard someone say, she's always playing the victim, she only writes about her exes, or she just dates guys for publicity? That narrative has followed her around for years, even though she's written across genres, created some of the most critically acclaimed albums of the decade, and has managed to turn a toxic media obsession into a multi-platinum art. And even now, with the massive success of the Eras Tour, people still find a way to hate. Taylor often receives backlash about how much she uses her private jet, when she's not even in the top 30 of celebs who emitted the most CO2 in 2023 when she was on a world tour. But she did make top of the list in 2022, emitting 8,293.54 metric tons of CO2. It's important to note that these celebrities themselves may not be fully responsible for the flights. Taylor's rep explained when she topped the list in 2022 that her plane is often loaned out to other people, so she's not the one taking all of the flights. In 2023, the person with the most CO2 emission was Travis Scott, admitting 6,061,300 kilograms of CO2, and no one said a word about him. One thing Taylor's always been hated on for is her dating history and writing too many breakup songs. Taylor has around 11 to 12 known relationships, which is actually pretty average for the amount for her age. There are many other celebrities with more exes than her. For example, Leonardo DiCaprio, with the almost triple amount of exes at 28 reported exes. And I don't see anyone hating on him for it, while Taylor gets slut-shamed for even being in the vicinity of a man. The man includes lines like, "I'm so sick of running as fast as I can, wondering if I'd get there quicker if I was a man. And I'm so sick of them coming at me again, 'cause if I was a man, then I'd be the man." And they'd say it hustled, put in the work, they won't shake their heads and question how much of this I deserve. What I was wearing, if I was rude, could all be separated from my good ideas and power moves. So next time you see someone tearing down a woman for being confident, assertive, or successful, ask yourself, would we say the same thing if it were a man?
That is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, maybe consider liking or subscribing. I know everyone says that, but it would mean a lot. But if not, it's alright. Have fun. Have a good day or night. I hope to see you next time. Bye.